Can I call you in like 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's no problem.
Okay, nice. Kevin Durant jersey, ska jag hämta. Så. There we go! Now we're matching!
Classy.
Let's go! I'm glad to see that Durant jersey.
How come you have one as well?
Me, I'm a big fan of him.
Okay.
I'm a really big fan of him, so I'm glad to see it.
Nice.
He just got traded as well.
Yeah, now we have to get a new Rockets one.
Yeah. As I said earlier, I'm so glad to see you, and I'm so happy for you that you're making a statement in Norway.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice to talk to you again. And now this time we do it properly, so we don't fuck up the sound.
So just like the last time, we're starting with 5. I think last time we said the simple questions, but this time it will be complicated questions. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We always start with the one that we ask every guest we have. And it's when you hear the sentence "football is football," what do you think about?
Football is it's a global sport. Is a sport that I believe is the most liked and the most viewed around the world. And for me, everyone can play it from boys to girls to older to younger. It's a joy of a sport that brings people together and happiness and creates unforgettable moments. That's what football is for me.
Very nice.
Yeah, great answer.
Have Leo Cornish showed you around in Tromsø yet?
A little bit, but yeah, Leo is one of the guys that I guess I get more along with here. So I really like him.
You seem to have a good group, how do you say?
Chemistry.
Group chemistry in the team.
Yeah, definitely. I think we are a really good group where the individual is just like working for the same goal, you know. And I think we are a quiet group, but working hard group.
Did you play against David Edvardsen?
Yeah, in Superettan, yeah.
Yeah. How did the games went between you? Is it a bit of a rivalry when you first saw each other, or how was it?
Not a big rivalry because we have the same agent, so I knew him before. But I think I won the first game against him, and then he just won the 2 next games against me. But from the moment that I saw him play, I just knew that he was a good guy. I thought he was a great player from the beginning. So I was just admiring after that.
If you're going to Lissabon, what will you not miss out on? What's a must when you go there?
It depends on the time of the year, but for sure going to a beach club or just like close to the beach where you can see the sunset and then just have a few like drinks. Doesn't need to be alcoholic drinks, but just enjoying the atmosphere around the beaches is so nice, especially around the summertime.
Are you going there soon?
Hopefully, I think we'll have a short break in September, like 4 days. So I think I will go there.
Oh, nice.
Is Lissabon the city that you must go to, or is it someone else?
No, definitely. Lisbon is my town, is my city. I love that city. So yeah, definitely.
We asked you this last time as well, but we must have the answer again. First and foremost, do you have a tattoo? And clearly you have.
Yeah.
Do you remember this question?
Yeah, I remember.
If you had to tattoo an animal, what would it be?
I think I said a monkey last time.
Yes.
And then I still wouldn't change it because it's even though people don't make monkey tattoos so often, but for me it's just an animal that I admire because they are so related to us and so smart, and I just admire the things and how smart they are, how intelligent they can be. So probably a monkey, yeah.
I'm actually gonna do not a monkey, but a gorilla on my arm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Okay, that's a good idea. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe I copy it as well.
You know, he's a big Djurgården supporter, and they had a tifo where the gorilla climbed the Stadshuset in Stockholm to reference to King Kong. So that's why.
I think I saw it. I think I saw that.
Yeah, nice. That's a really good one. So I'm gonna do that on my shoulder.
Okay, nice.
How would you describe yourself as a player for those who don't know?
I would describe myself as a technical player, smart player, and a point getter, because I can not easily, but I'm very related to goals and assists. So good in the air also. So those four, I think, are the more key points.
It's kind of ridiculous how good of a goal scorer you are right now. If you look at goals per 90 minutes, you're on like 3.5 goals per 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's a crazy statistic. For the ones that know me like from before, and the ones that work with me from day to day, they know that probably goal scoring is probably not my best attribute, because I do so many good things like together. It's not just about scoring goals, but it's fun. Like for the position that I play, I think that's the most important. So it's fun to be up there.
Would you say that you have changed as a player since you got to Norway?
Yeah, I have to change a little bit, not so much, but I changed a little bit because from the position that I was playing last year in Sweden, it's a bit different from where I'm playing right now. So now I have to really, really work on my number 9 abilities, working in the box, fighting defenders, like going in behind movements. And last year I wasn't doing that so often. So yeah, it's just changed that. But my whole the thing that I was supposed to do, or what I've been doing before the couple of years, I'm still doing them. So
yeah. And when I was watching you in Brage, you were getting a lot of attention. They were doing fouls on you like every single time. Do you think because you are new in Norway, do you have more time and maybe a little bit less respect from the opponents?
No, I don't think so, because in Brage it's still the second division, so many players there. It's no disrespect to anyone, but most of the players there, they are not on the elite level. So they tend to commit more fouls when they are playing, because probably that's one of the main reasons they can stop a good player. And here is like every player is elite, so it's not like they're going to focus on one player specifically, like more hard and rough. But like I said, the goals I've been scoring is just pure smartness. I don't think even if you just put like 2 players on me, I still think I would have still scored, even if they knew me from before or had more respect. So because I'm not touching the ball, I'm not getting many touches. I'm just touching the ball in the right moment.
Yes.
Score. So that's the point.
Nice.
How would you describe yourself outside of football?
Very chilled, relaxed. I'm fun to hang out with. I think so. Yeah.
You have an incredible journey and an incredible story, and I think we should start from the beginning. And why did you start play football? Was it because of your parents, or why did you start to play football?
No, it was just. I think it was something that always got my attention from the very young age. I think from the age of 5, I was just only interested in footballs, playing football with whatever I could. And since then, I had no other interest. I remember I still tried swimming, but it was just like I didn't have interest for anything else. So football always been at the top, like it still is today.
And it's like the football atmosphere in Portugal is it's hard to not become a football player, right?
It's hard not to want to be a football player, but it's hard to become a football player.
I like that. I like that.
So it's the culture is really big. From the big clubs to the top clubs, the culture from the people around it. Portugal has a very good and big academy structure, and youth level is quite competitive there. So from the age of I would say 12, 13, players, they leave their homes with their family and they go to the academies, and most of them they stay there. They don't go home. They just stay there. They train. They go to school and everything. So I'll say it's quite. So it's a big competition, I would say. So everyone wants it, but it's difficult to make it.
Yeah.
And did you start off at a local team at first, right? Before moving to Sporting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, can you tell us about how that first club was and why did you move on?
It was, I think, it was the perfect beginning for me because I think when I started, I was 6 years old, and I remember that this club that I started with, they didn't have my age group yet, so they only started with from the 7 years old. But my mom just begged just to let me play, just to let me be there, and then they agreed, and ended up playing with a higher age group for like 2 to 3 years, because I was as good as them and probably better. So it was something that I really enjoyed, and I still have some friends from that time actually. So and from that age group, not many people are still playing. But for me, it was something that I always admire, starting at that club at that time. So yeah, this tattoo that I have is like it's a boy with dreaming about football.
Cool. Yeah.
And then he's wearing the shirt of that club, and the name of that club is at the name at the back. So that's how much that club means to me.
That's so inspiring, and it must be so motivating for you to just look at your arm and see the journey.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
How was it to grow up in Lisbon? I always wondered how the conditions were like outside the football.
It was. I mean, for me, it was quiet. I had a quiet, good youth growing up. There wasn't many struggles for me because my parents always made sure that I had everything. Football, they really took a big part on my youth, especially in Lisbon, because it's more people, and then it's more competition. So I was just I still remember that I still missed some classes to just be at the school court and just like playing football. Like I would go to school earlier, not to go and study or just go to classes, but actually just play football with my friends, because Lisbon really has that capacity to bring people together, so, like playing like street football, you know. So it's something that everyone that grew up in Lisbon has done before. So I would say it was sometimes it was good, but if probably I would advise any young person to do, I'll probably not not to do it.
How did you make it, and why didn't they do it? What's the difference, do you think, between you and your friends?
I'm not quite sure. Sometimes I try to think about it, but for me, my answer for making it this far is my love for the game and not having any other ideas on what to do or what to become. Not because I don't have the capacity to do them, but because I'm not interested in those things. So if I'm not interested in those things, I only have one way, which is sacrifice myself to the most so I can be there. And for other people, maybe they had other options that they could do. Maybe I'm not sure, study, work. But my love for it just made me, yeah, this is what you want, this is what you like. So I'm gonna do everything for it.
Your love for the sport made you move to the north of the north.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. And did you go straight from that club to Sporting Lissabon?
Yeah, yeah.
How was that move? Because there's a few other clubs that you can choose also, right?
Yeah, at that moment, I was going on trials because I was being scouted by a couple of teams. And then I remember before I signed for Sporting, I was really close to join Benfica. It was, I think I went on trial to them about like three times or four times. So I was really close to go to them. And then I remember it was during a week. I think it was, I never forget. I think it was a Wednesday. Then Sporting just called my mom, and then they just said, "Oh, we know that you're really close to go to Benfica, but just come and listen to us." Then we went to them, and that day I signed directly.
Wow!
How was that feeling?
It was something. It was something else because I had played against Sporting before when I was at that club, and there was like the best players in the country that always, of course, they play there. And then you always get smashed when you played Benfica or Sporting. At that time, it was like ridiculous results, like 12-2, 12-1. So it was like something incredible. And when you play for a local team, you look at those players like, okay, this is what I'm trying to be. So after I saw that I had the capacity to be there, also I was really happy, and I was a kid, so I was not thinking about anything else. So I was just thinking about it all the time.
How would you describe the difference between Sporting and Benfica? It seems to be a big rivalry right now, but for a young person like you, how was your look on the teams?
At young age, as a kid, 11, 12 years old, I don't think you care that much about the rivalry. You just want to play in a good youth academy, and then if you're getting valued, because at the end of the day, it's very difficult to make it to the first team for both teams. So you just want to be in a youth group or in the youth team academy for as long as possible so you can develop. It doesn't matter if he's Benfica or if he's Sporting or Porto, So it's just about, okay, whoever gives me the chance to be there, and then I'm going to be there, So, but of course, it's a big rivalry, and then I'm a Benfica fan, but I didn't care at that time. So,
but it must have been hella serious right away when you joined Lisbon, if you compare it to the earlier club, right?
Yeah, it's a total difference, and whoever's been a part of that academy, Sporting Lisbon, they that it's like it's not for kids. Okay, the phrase is not for kids, but it's like you're a kid, but it instantly becomes like very, very, very serious. That you almost have to have the same focus on that as you have in school, and it's not supposed to be like that when you're that young, So, but it is like that. If you want to go up in the age group, because every year people get released. So if you want to continue to be there for many years, then your focus has to be really big.
What's the biggest difference between a serious team like Benfica and Sporting and the smaller team that you have played in? Is it the condition on the training pitches, or is it the education, the football education, or what's the biggest difference?
I think the education are still good even if you play in a local club in Portugal, because it's something that they really been building up for years. That even if you play in a local club, you get good education. But I think the main difference is just the competition between the players, because at the local team, okay, we are playing football, but most of the players there are like playing for fun. They are playing with their friends. They are playing for fun. And then when you join the academy, you're having fun, but you also gotta win. It doesn't matter if it's youth competition leagues or cups. You gotta win. So that's the main difference.
How many of your teammates in Sporting made it as a professional football player?
Yeah, it's quite many.
Is it really?
Yeah, and the Sporting is quite many. I can't count them.
Is it like 50% or even higher? Or
I would say so. Maybe I would say 50%.
Wow.
Though it maybe not like at the elite level, but still like from second division to first divisions is many players.
It's their job to play football.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow, that's awesome! 50%. That's so high.
Yeah, I think so.
That's impressive.
Can you name us a few players who you played with?
Yeah, there's a page on the internet that's because I can't remember them all, but there's a page that I just go on my profile and then it says the like biggest players that I play with. So I'm just gonna have a quick look.
Yeah. Can you send that to me on Instagram later after this?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So of course, Rafael Leão is the biggest. Is the player playing highest level right now. Then I've got Nuno Moreira. He's in Vasco da Gama in Brazil right now. I got Luis Maximiano. He's a goalkeeper. I think he's in Granada. I think in Spain. He was in Lazio last year. Thierry Correia is in Valencia. Daniel Bragança is at Sporting first team. Then there's a lot of players that are like playing in Portugal, the like first division and second division. Yeah. Then I've got Ruben Vinagre is in Lecce, Varsovia.
Okay.
Elves Balde is in first league in Portugal.
At your youth level, you had trainings with all these players.
Yeah, and much more. Like I'm not even mentioning the players that are like still playing professional, but on leagues that are not so recognizable. So
yeah.
I'm just trying to mention the ones that are like somewhat relevant.
Yeah, and it's not a secret that you are a friend with Rafael, and as you mentioned, he's one of the best players in the world. And you mentioned a player who used to play for Lazio and now in Granada. There's so many good names. How was the level at football? If you compare youth football in Portugal and then you're coming to play in Sweden, the quality must be higher in Portugal.
Yeah, it's much higher. I would say it's much higher because the players are like elite talents. The staff working with the players are elite talents. Like you have the coaching staff of, I would say under 14s. Yeah, under 14s to above. That the coaching staff are like full-time job is just like take care of that team. So just develop those players and just to make those players better. Of course, next year they turn 15, they go to another coaches, but the coaching staff, they invest in the staff, so the staff are focused on developing the players. So I think that's really important. I don't think you get that in Sweden until maybe first team. I would say that the coaching staff are like okay, they're a full-time job. So it's elite staff, elite players, elite training conditions. So the level is really high. It's really high. So that's no secret that then you have Portuguese players like playing all over the world with being recognized, and coaches as well. Like Portuguese coaches, it's like you get quality when you get one of those coaches.
We had a really interesting conversation last time, and it was about Rafael Leão, about his mentality. Where people criticize his mentality for just walking around and
calling me a diva.
Yeah, and not be serious. But you mentioned something really interesting last time. Do you remember?
About him, yeah, of course. I have to remember because that's how I see him. Because back in the days, you could still see that he had the talent, he had the same playing style that he has today that makes him one of the best, but he still had some what people see as not so good body language actions, I would say. For me, that doesn't really matter, for me personally, but I understand where the people come from, because these days people really want players to be like machines where they're connected to the power 100% of the time, inside the pitch, outside the pitch. You really have to basically work. You have to basically live on someone else's body instead of yours, because people don't, okay, this is who he is. But no, people just they just find anything to criticize him, and but I know, because I said it last time also.
So they are trying to take away the good part of football to make it like a full-time job. You're not supposed to. I mean, football is based on emotions, and players like Rafael Leão we need them for football.
Yeah, but I think people are never satisfied. It doesn't matter how good you are, and especially when you are one of those players that can do something different from the others. People think that you should be doing all those things 100% of the time, and then of course that's not going to happen as a player, as a special player. But you don't know what type of mentality it has to be that special player, also to be mentally free to do what he does in those special moments. It's impossible to do special moments like all the time, like people expect it, but people are not satisfied. But for him, I don't think he really thinks about it, what other people are saying, because from the young age he just had this joy playing football, but he also has this shield that seems like he doesn't care, And I think for the personality that he has, it's just better that he has this. Otherwise, it would have been much worse for him to take all this criticism that he gets for being that good.
This is really interesting because me as a football supporter aren't really like interested in watching Manchester City Arsenal, because they are like robots when they play, and it's a very few players that express themselves. Can you feel that as a player sometimes, that I don't really want to do this because this is too much tactics, I just want to express myself and do my thing, I'm being too held back here?
Yeah, sometimes I feel it, but I don't think it's about like tactics. I don't think it's about tactics anymore, because I feel like for you to be successful these days, you have to follow a tactic with the others individuals in the squad. But it's just about what you do, or what, like, sometimes even free to make to be as best the best as you can be, because of a tactic. And of course you follow a tactic, but I would say strategy these days, they are not meant to protect the player that can like bring them the goal that at some time, that is not happening anymore. It's like 11 players running and doing the same thing, and then if you are creative, if you are a maestro, genius, or whatever, it's starting to disappear, because they're not being protected all the way around. If you're just there, just being even more criticized because they are not doing what were used to see back in the days, So it's quite difficult, but it's not I don't think it's the player's fault, because the way football is going is either you just follow up what you're being told, or you're going to be put to the side, I think. So.
And it's also about like doing interviews and post-game interviews and everything. It's always the same answers and the same questions.
Yeah, you basically just say whatever the people above us want to hear, because there's so much drama that can create these days for just one word that is not even worth it, like the pressure that you already have to perform in the games. It doesn't really matter if you have another dramas with something that is not related to the game itself, So I think we think that way, that is no point really say what you believe in or what you think in those moments. So
That must be a bad feeling, Doc, to not have the rights to be yourself because you're scared of maybe say one word wrong because then they are going to use it. It must be a bad feeling.
No, but I think I don't think it's a bad feeling because it's no point telling what you think because nothing is going to change, in my opinion. So if nothing is going to change after you say that, there's no point saying it, because then people are going to get mad or get angry for some reason, and then you're not going to get what you think that is the best by saying those things.
Next club is Nacional de Madeira, right? Madeira?
Yeah.
Why did you move there and how come? Because it's an island outside of Portugal, right?
Yeah, I was living with my parents in England before that, but I didn't really enjoy my time there. I didn't really connect with the country and the football there. Not that the football isn't good, but I just got to an age there where I didn't have as much knowledge to join a good academy program and stuff. So I spent some 2.5 years, maybe 3 years, and then I decided to go back to Portugal. And then I went to a trial game where people just come and watch, and then they scouted me there, and then I joined the academy for 2 years. It was good. It was good to be back in Portugal playing the first division national championship, playing against some of the players that I was playing it before in my age group. So I would say it was fun. Madeira is a really nice. It was a really nice place to live. It's the weather is basically great the whole year.
Okay.
So the only thing is just you have to travel for every away game, So, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, but the other teams always have to travel there also.
Yeah, but they travel there once a year.
Yeah. But when they're playing you, maybe they're tired after the traveling.
But the traveling is not that much. It's like they always travel like a day before, and it's just 1 hour and a half flight.
Okay.
So,
Even the youth team traveled the day before.
at that age, yes. At under 18, 19, yeah, they always travel a day before.
England, did you play any football in a team, or did you take a break from organized football?
No, I was playing for a school football kind of program, which is like so serious from what I was used to. It was many players that was just there for the studying thing, and that wasn't for me.
Did you take any learnings from the time in England, or was it just bad things?
Of course, there was some good experiences, but not much I can take with. To be honest.
And Madeira, of course, it's where Ronaldo is born. How much do you notice that when you were there? Is it graffiti everywhere and everybody's talking about him, or how is it?
Not actually, not as much as people think. Of course, people really honor him there. He's from there. He's got his museum there. Like the airport is named after him also. But it's not like you go around and people are just like talking and overprotecting him. It's not that much.
Did you have him as a role model, or did you have any other players growing up?
He was one of the role models, of course, because of his mentality and his consistency to the work every day. But no one can be like him in terms of like having that motivation every day to be the first and the last one to work. Of course, you take some things, but at some point you know that, okay, this guy is different.
And when you moved from Madeira, it's to Maritomo B, right? And where you play senior football for the first time.
Yeah, it was not senior completely because it was not a B team. It was the under-23s team.
Okay.
So on that year, like in Portugal, they just created the under 23s league, which is like every club in the first division created their own under 23s. So the transition from the under 19s to the senior football wouldn't be so big. So they just created this league where you could, like, if you're 19, you play there from 19 until you're 23, basically. And then you get some of the players from the A team, players that are not playing much, they can come down also and play maximum of 3 players. So I went there. Maritime was also like their rivals with Nacional, the team I was before. So it was a bit weird, and I didn't enjoy my time there as I did before in the 2 years that I spent at Nacional because of multiple reasons. But I think it was still a good. It was of course a good level to play in if you're aspiring to be a footballer.
Have you ever lost your happiness to football through your journey?
No, never.
It has always been there.
Yeah, my joy and my happiness to just think that I can play football every day. And then I started playing professional football a bit late, so that anger that I had and the willingness to play professional football didn't die until I started playing professional football. So for some people, I believe it did, because when you see that you're 18, 19, 20, 21 and you don't have a professional contract, you start thinking it's too late and you start doing other things. But for me, thanks to my family also, I always had just the mentality and the freedom to do it. The toughest moment was probably when I got my knee injury. That's when things got a bit more difficult. But still, then I didn't lose the interest for the game.
When was the knee injury?
It was 2020, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, 2020. Yeah. So I had my knee surgery in November or October in 2020. Yeah.
Oh.
And this was in Sweden, right?
Yeah, it must be. No,
it was before I went to Sweden.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, it was before I went to Sweden.
It's really nice to hear that you find like you said, the angriness and the happiness at the same time to motivate yourself. Many people is starting to questioning yourself. Am I good enough? Will I make it? What do you think is the biggest reasons why you didn't questioning yourself and believe yourself?
Because I always believed in my capacity, in my talent. That I've always been good to play, and then just kind of analyze it every day, that even though I'm not playing professional, I can still improve on my mentality just by watching other players, or just by watching football games, like really paying attention to detail on what they do. That just made me love the football even more. Sometimes we tend to compare it to other persons or other, in this case, other players. Maybe you start questioning how is this guy here, how is this guy there, and I'm still at not a good place. And that can be frustrating. That can be quite frustrating for someone that didn't invest in anything else than football, So, but for me, I always remain calm, and I always thought that I had still time to do it. So I was just waiting for the right time and the right step. But I always believed it would have come.
How would you describe your journey before Skellefteå? Because you were at Maritomo, and then you go to Unai Almeirim and Alverca. Did you always feel like you were upcoming here? Or you said you had your knee injury in 2020, which were before. But these years, how were they?
Yeah. So when I was, of course, I've been a part of a good academy in Portugal. So at that time, you're thinking, okay, you're on the right path. Even if you play for Nacional, is like first division team, Marítimo first division team. So at that time, even if you don't play for the biggest club in the country, you are still in a good path to become a professional. So when I left Marítimo, I went to União de Almeria, which was a fourth division, but I was playing in the senior team. It was something that I really never hadn't experienced before. It was totally different from from I was used to. Players that they don't really have the expect. Nobody expects them to be somewhere else. And with Alverca, I went to Alverca also after that year in Almeria, which was the COVID year. So the season was cut short in Almeria. So next season I went to Alverca, and Alverca is now actually they got promoted to the first team.
Okay.
But now when I was there, they were in the third league, and they want me to be a part of the B team to at some point come up to the first team and just like be a first team player over the time. But as soon as I got there, I trained 1 week. I got injured in my knee. I didn't play for 6 months, so I didn't play for 6 months. And at that time, I really started to think that my journey is going down. It's not going up anymore. I was starting feeling like I was going down and down and down and down the levels. And that was something that I was happy, but I still didn't lose the hope. So that's when the chance to go to Sweden came up, because I wasn't really on a good level in Portugal back then. Because if I was, maybe I would. Of course, I would not. I would not go to Sweden in Scandinavia. But because I was on that level then that chance came up.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the next step is Sweden, and the question is how and why Skellefteå? Because even me as a Swede, sorry to all the Skellefteå people, yeah, I would never move to Skellefteå. Why?
But it was something that I was not aware of.
No, of course.
The only thing I knew about Sweden then, it was Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, of course. He put the country on the map.
Yeah, I knew Zlatan, and I knew the flag. I can identify this as Sweden, but I didn't know how people live in Sweden. Like, where's the capital? How many people live in? Like, I didn't know anything of these things until I really had the interest and the chance to go. Then I started looking up. I started to see the people's lifestyle, like the weather, like stuff like this. And then when I came to Sweden, I didn't go to anywhere else. I didn't go to Stockholm. I didn't go to Göteborg or nowhere else. I just went from the airport. I landed from Lisbon to Stockholm. I didn't leave the airport. And Stockholm left you. So I didn't see anything. So for me, it was okay. Maybe this is the standard. I was just thinking that way, But I'm really happy that Skellefteå was my point of start, because it was the perfect place for me to focus, but refocus on football and refocus on just playing. I don't have friends, I don't have family here, nothing. It's just like football. And then it was okay. Let's see what you can do. I was coming from a knee injury. It was the perfect place. Not too high level. It was a low level when I compared to the level that I'm playing today. It's a low level, but it was something that I needed at that time, just to spark my hungerness for the game again.
Yeah.
And holy shit, it went well.
Yeah, and I love I like Skellefteå. I like the people there. People are nice there. I made a lot of friends. I think not to not be humble, but I think I talk with more people since I came to Scandinavia, like Sweden, now Norway, I talk to people more daily from around Scandinavia than my people back home in Portugal. You know? So I've made a lot of good friends since I came here.
Nice.
Yeah, nice to hear.
You're a Scandinavian now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, but people, I really like the people, and the people also. I feel I connected with people there, and then I still like talk with anyone that can talk to me from the day will, and I talk to them back. I never leave anyone without reply. I just appreciate a lot from Skellefteå, you know.
Wow.
nice to hear.
Yeah.
But Skellefteå, you've won MVP 2 years in a row, right? And
Yeah.
you scored one season 26 goals in 26 games.
Yeah.
Is it the motivation from coming back to from the injury, or is it the low quality? What do you think is most?
At that time, I started feeling like I don't have much time. I got a good chance here, and I don't have much time. If it's not now, I'm not sure when it will be. I'm not sure if I'll get this chance again, you know. So I'll just make the most out of it. Since it's a low level, I'm going to do my best and see where I can go. You know, so I just took advantage of both situations to make my journey, or to restart my journey, if you would say like this.
But the truth is, of course, it's a low level for you, but it's not a low level.
No.
I mean, we don't play in Division 2. It's a good level for a football player in Sweden. I understand that it's a low level for you, but it's not the reason. It's something else, I think.
Yeah, I would say that I just became a dog when I started playing for Skellefteå, because there was nothing I was most focused about than finishing every game with goals and just trying to be the best, you know. And then with my quality, it was easily seen that I was not even playing close to my best, you know, to be that good. But I was just a dog in a positive way. I just wanted to, I'm going to kill, you know.
I love your mentality, man.
Yeah.
I must say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And also, you moved from Skellefteå to, I think it's Sweden's most ugliest city. I think it's nominated to it. I think it's actually nominated to the ugliest city in Sweden.
Yeah, I heard about it.
You choose right.
At that moment, in that position, it's not really like you can choose. No, it's not. I mean, I could choose. I could have gone to HTFF in that moment.
Oh,
Really?
Oh.
I'm a Hammarby supporter. So.
I have been travel with them. I could have stayed if I wanted to, but they are in Etan, you know. So I wanted to play as high level as possible. So I went to trial in Brugge, and then I was on trial there for 3 weeks. They wasn't sure if they were going to sign me.
Brugge?
Yeah, they wasn't in the beginning when I came. They weren't like, yeah, this guy is good. We're not sure. And then my agent had to convince them, like, just take him. You'll not be disappointed. Then I stayed.
Yeah. Firstly, I'm glad I never seen you in a Hammarby jersey. That would be very very wrong, and interesting that they wasn't sure of you, Brage, because it ended very good.
No, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not a trial player. You know, I'm a player that gets better with the time when I'm used to the environment and so on. And then when I came to trial with Brugge, it was January. You know, it was winter. I didn't play football for like a month and a half back home. So I went to trial there. It was cold. I was jumping 2 levels from Division 2 to Superettan. And in the beginning, it just seemed like every player there was better than me, you know. So to be honest, I know I wasn't good, but gladly it turned out to just be like a tough beginning. You know?
Yeah, and trials are a very weird thing because you don't have any connections with the players. You feel unsure when you come on the pitch. You don't know what that player has as a right
Quality.
which foot he wants to have the passes and how he's running. You don't know anything, so it's kind of hard.
And it's also stressful
Basically, you just have to. You just basically have to, every time you get the ball, if you're an attacker, to just
Score a goal.
score a goal and try to do some magic that the coach will remember, like for the next for the next few hours, because otherwise it's very difficult, you know.
Yeah.
So when I got there, I wasn't really doing. I've got the background that I have, you know, Portuguese player, striker, forward, you know, scores goals, skillful, but. I wasn't doing any of these things in the beginning, you know. So people are starting, but what is this guy doing? I wasn't even shooting at that. I wasn't trying to score goals. I was just trying to pass the ball to the teammates in the most simple way, you know. And it wasn't good. I would say it wasn't good. Or I wasn't bad either. But at that time, they were in need of someone that they are sure about. It's not that the play is not good, but there was on a certain situation that, okay, we need to know what we're getting, you know. So with a little convincing from my agent, then I ended up staying, and I was the top scorer in the team in the first season. And then there was, I don't think I just did more than people were expecting me to do at Brugge for the 2 years that I was there.
Speaking of top goal scorer in the team, did you see the video with us and Vukojevic and Asad Al-Hamlawi?
Yeah, I saw a short clip you sent me.
Yeah, I said you when we were sitting with them and they asked us, who do you think is going to be the top goal scorer? Then I said your name.
Yeah, but luckily for them I didn't.
But I wonder, because when we talked to you last time, you were a little bit bored outside of football and wanted us to come and visit you and everything. What's the correlation with the outside of football and performing on the pitch for you? How important is it to feel good outside and everything like that? And
I think it's really important. Really, really. Now that I've been in Borlänge for 2 years, I understand that like in the most like 100% way, you know, because it's really important that you like the environment and then you feel happy about it. Because like I said in the beginning, we're not machines, you know. We are playing football for work, but you still have to have joy in, like, with stuff around you or where you live and people you deal with. And so this stuff really matters on how you're going to, for example, wake up motivated to go to train. Because training, you're not going to develop if you're not good and giving 100% in training. But if you're not happy to be motivated, how are you going to develop? You know, it's hard. No, I never been a training player because I always had the talent to decide games everywhere I was in a part of. But it's just, I just see that, for example, when I'm now here in Tromsø, I haven't started any game yet, but I'm happy, I'm motivated every day to go to work. And like I'm training so much better than I used to. I'm even surprised with myself because I never came to a point where I'm actually training. I'm putting effort in it, you know. So it's really, really important to like and love the place where you live.
I mean, you had the Kupolen.
So I would say something. You will think it's weird, but it's true. In Kupolen, it's more stores that are closed, like more space to stores that are closed than the stores that are open. You know?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of empty space there. Imagine walking into a mall that you want to see like activity, you want to see people lively, and you will just walk in there. It's a more like free space than other thing, you know.
It must be a expensive rent.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was expensive or not. But you don't see people with like how do I say it? You don't see people happy to be living there. You know.
How
So
is it in Tromsø?
it's different. It's totally different. You see people they are enjoying the where they live. You know, they are doing multiple activities like outdoor activities. Like the city is quite lively. It's a student town also. It's a lot of stuff to do. A lot of stuff.
But how did you stimulate yourself in Borlänge? Did you hang out with your teammates and doing stuff with them, or what was the solution on that
Yeah,
situation?
the good thing in Boleng is that I had a group of friends that I liked from since I came. Like a group of maybe five players. That yeah, we were together most of the time because otherwise I don't see how it would have been possible. You know?
Yeah.
How are you when you are moving to another club? Are you the one who takes contact with your teammates directly, or does them come to you, or how are you in the changing room in the beginning?
I think I'm 50-50, but in these past years, I think I improved a lot. I think I'm a guy who will like come to anyone and just like trying to get involved as quick as possible because I think it really helps. Um, so that's what I done when I came to drums, and I think I settled in the group quite well.
Yeah, and moving back to Brage, you had a really good season, and you got you earned a move to the next step in your journey. But I was expecting to see you in the highest level in Sweden. I was really looking forward for it. Why did it become Norway instead?
No, I didn't really. No team in Sweden really came up and say, "Okay, we want you." So if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to wait and just hope that I will stay in Sweden because I wanted to. But if there's no interest, then of course I have to move on.
Why do you think it's no interest from the Swedish team? It's so weird because the Norwegian league can even be better, I think.
Yeah, the Norwegian league is better than Allsvenskan, and at least it's rated higher. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not speculate, but I'm not sure. But maybe I think these the Swedish teams they have this like strategy over like signings regarding like age of players and how much the players can revenue to them and stuff like this. So maybe that was one of the reasons. The other reasons I don't know because I'm not the one getting in contact directly with the clubs. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's mostly the first reason you said, but it's a bit harsh to say that you're old. I mean, but teams are looking for like 17 years olds, and yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
No, it's the way I see football and the way I play football. None. I'm not gonna be here cursing anyone, but he's 18 or 19 that will maybe give a club like 30 million, 40 million, 50 million. They will not give the club in a competitive football side. They will not be up to it. That's for sure. And that's when the competitiveness in the league, because clubs are not trying to win anymore. They're just trying to basically survive or trying to get rich or like financial wise. It's no club like, okay, we're gonna keep the best players. We're gonna sign the best players regardless of the age, because we are trying to win, and that doesn't. I don't feel like there's this competitiveness in Svensk. So that's maybe because of the way they are like strategy in their clubs. So I haven't seen at least that in Norway. You have now 5 to 6 clubs that are like really really strong, and they don't care about the age, they don't care about like the revenue, or like if you're good, if you're the best, then you'll play. So
Yeah, it's interesting. My conclusion to that, I think Norway has come a bit further than Allsvenskan, where they're able to do that. In Allsvenskan, you really need a revenue, and a lot of clubs is struggling with the money in this league. Even big clubs like IFK Göteborg, for example, they must play these young players also, so they're a little bit more must to do it.
that I understand, but it's not like you will not be able to sell a 26, 27 or 28-year-old player. If the player is doing well, to be sold to outside of Scandinavia, the player will be sold if he's performing. It's no problem regarding that. But I just think that they see there is a lot more work to develop and to expose a 27-year-old player, for example, comparing to a 19-year-old player or an 18-year-old player. They just think it's too much work, and it's like it's 50-50. It can work, but it cannot work. But with the 19-year-old player, it will always work, even if the player doesn't perform in the first team as he was supposed to do. But at least we get some revenue, And then doing this, the quality of the teams and the quality of the league will just get lower and lower and lower. So that's the way I see it.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. It really is.
Yeah.
But moving on, Norway, the opportunity in Norway and Tromsø came through. How was the first contact from Tromsø?
I actually had contact with the Tromsø. My agent was speaking with them already in the summer last year, and then there was like 50-50 that they would go for me back then in the summer, but they chose to go for another player as well, and then it just stayed. But I knew that they were interested from me last year already, and then. Yeah, it was the winter transfer window where we were just like waiting for something to come up, and then when they like called my agent, I think they're quite quick to move like forward with it. They didn't like just call to find about it. They called and they were like, okay, we're doing this. So I was still not sure because I was it's too far. I already lived in North Sweden. Now going to North Norway is even further up. Oh, I was not sure, and I was happy that teams in a high level were interested, but I was not sure. But when I came here, it was like I was shocked with the environment around it. It's like the facilities that we have is clearly a step up from where I was.
The biggest question, the most important questions before you moved to Tromsø, did you do a Google search on the mall in Tromsø?
The mall?
The mall, shopping mall.
The Kupolen of Tromsø.
So it's not another one, another Kupolen.
No, I just searched the city, and then I saw a lot of things, but I didn't see a mall. Of course, we have a mall here, but it just says a lot when a mall is not the most interesting thing that you're going to see about a city. If you see a mall in the first place, that means it's no good. So that's it. When I searched it was a lot of things, and it was winter. The city was full because it's a lot of tourists around the winter time. So it was pretty good. Really, it was really really good.
Yeah. Have you invested in a good jacket and gloves?
No, actually, I had them from Sweden.
Yeah.
I had them in Sweden, but the snow is quite extreme here.
We got a good story from Morgado, who's playing in Degerfors.
Yeah.
When he got to Piteå, he was telling a story about gloves and the jackets. At the first time, he didn't have a good enough jacket, and it was so cold. And that's why I was asking if you have invested in a good jacket.
Yeah, I was quite prepared then, but it's not so. It's not so cold, to be honest.
Okay.
It's not as cold as in Skellefteå, for example, because in Skellefteå you can get up to like -20, -25. Like in Borlänge also -18, -20. But not here. I think the lowest he's been here is like probably -6 maximum.
Oh, okay. That's a big difference.
But it's just more snow, but not so cold.
Nice.
And it's always daylight, right?
Right now, it won't get any dark. Yeah, it doesn't get dark.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah. About the club Tromsø, they had a tough year the year before you joined. What was what did you think about the club?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I wasn't sure about coming to Tromsø already last year, because they was already struggling. So when they really didn't go for me, I was like, okay, maybe it's like they're struggling also. So for me, it's better. But I knew when they survived, and then we got to this season, it was a new chance to start things all over again, and that the team had some really good players. Really good players.
Yeah, it really seems that the Tromsø team is making a statement right now.
Yeah, it's no strange. It's no strange to anyone that we're doing this good now. But it was, I believe, it was a rough beginning, because the coach that we have now, he started last season also, but he made a transition from the assistant coach to the first coach. So I think maybe it took that year of adapting to the league, way to work. And now I can see that things are rolling now.
What's your dreams with your career, and how will you achieve it?
My dream probably playing in a Europe competition, like Champions League, Europa League. If I would play that, I think I would be fulfilled in terms of playing on a high level as a professional. And then I'm still on track to do that. I'm still on the right way now. So hopefully I continue to work hard and perform, and hopefully at some time it will happen.
Yeah, we will share on you.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you have a really inspiring story as well, because who the hell moves from Portugal to Sweden besides you and Morgado? Yeah, it needs a lot of courage, and that's really cool and inspiring for both of us to see your journey, as we said.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
How is the Norwegian football?
I would say it's somewhat similar to Swedish, but I think it's a bit more physical because it's a little more running. It's a little more running, and players are just a bit more physical, but it's not like major differences, but definitely more physical.
How would you describe your start in the team? I mean, it's hard to not be positive.
Yeah, it's like, of course, I'm not going to lie. I thought I would be playing more than I've been playing now in terms of minutes. But it's hard to complain when the minutes that I've done like so well. I don't think I could have done any better than I've been doing now. Like sometimes you get the feeling that, okay, maybe I could have done a bit better on that situation or on that game or whatever. but I haven't had that feeling yet, so it's good. Help the team whenever I go to play. So I think it's a very good start. I don't think I've disappointed anyone yet.
You have been kind of giving us quite a few tips how to fulfill your dreams, but if you could give all the youngers who is listening to this podcast any tips to come as far as they want to go when chasing their dreams, what would you say to them?
I would say to not listen and not compare to other players or your friends or stuff that you see on the internet, because that is not good. But just believe in yourself and just think that everyone has different paths and different roads. It doesn't matter how late you get there as long as you get there, so it's just a thing that I learned over the time with my experience, and just see the love. You really have to love it. You really have to love it, because the competition and the standards to be a professional, I think, is just like improving day by day. It's not getting any easier, it's getting harder, because it's more details and more the situations are more tricky. It's not just like, okay, you are a good player, so you can come and play. It's not like that anymore. You really have to fulfill a lot of points for teams and for people that are like high on the elite level to take you. So you really have to love it and not let those tricky points like get you out of your dream. So really have to love it.
Nice.
Yeah, wonderful words, and a perfect ending of this interview. I hope you have enjoyed this as much as we have.
Yeah, I have. I was waiting for this a long time since we took the last one.
Yeah, and I really hope we can link up soon in real life. It will be really nice.
Yeah.
It's just so damn far away.
But it's not that far, to be honest. Like, it's far, the distance is far, but the accessibility here is not difficult. You got flights directly from Stockholm here.
Yeah.
If not, then they fly from Stockholm to Oslo here. But you have direct flights from Stockholm.
Oh,
so
that's
and
nice.
it's not more than 2 hours. So
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to come to Stockholm soon also, because I have some friends that I have to see, but the schedule is quite tight.
Yeah.
There's not many gaps that I have, but as soon as I have a gap, I have to come to Stockholm, because I really love it. Stockholm is like one of my favorite cities.
You should have gone to HTFF, man.
No.
So I will see. But if I really make it to come to Stockholm, then of course we will link up.
And thank you so much. And I hope to see you in Allsvenskan someday.
No. Now it's only up.
You can play Champions League in Allsvenskan also.
Only if you play for Malmö.
Can you send the list of the players you played with in Sporting and a good picture of your tattoos? I'm really interested of tattoos, and I made one recently, my first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did it go?
What?
Was it painful?
Yeah, it was painful. I actually passed out. But I didn't sleep 1 second the night before, so that's the reason why I passed out.
Were you anxious or?
No.
He didn't eat and sleep before.
The thing is, I have a dog, and
okay.
And the dog had a bad stomach all night before, so he was waking me up all the night. So I was awake until 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sleep, so I was looking at my phone, and I saw that my gym opened up at 5 in the morning. So I was working out, and then we go to Gothenburg, where I tattooed got tattooed. So it was not the best. It was not the good conditions to get a tattoo. So I passed out 4 times.
I think you have to be in good levels when it comes to energy and hydration. Because, for example, when I get a tattoo, I'm not the type of person that gets that feels a lot of pain and stuff. I can just just do your work. I'll just be there. I don't have pain, but it's after the tattoo, I feel so weak.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine if I didn't sleep or if I had struggled the night before, then that would be a problem.
Yeah. Are you getting more tattoos? Is that what you're planning?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I want to get more.
If you're ever going to Gothenburg, our friend is probably the best tattoo artist in Sweden.
Really?
Yeah, I send you his Instagram so you can see.
Yeah,
We can send you the video when he's passing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that too.
Yeah, it's on YouTube all over it.
All right.
Yeah. We keep in touch. It would be really nice to meet you in real life.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. I'm looking forward for it. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, always. You're always welcome. If you're ever in Stockholm, even though you have a tight schedule, you're always welcome to the studio as well.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a nice
Bye,
day.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.